Thank you.
Speak up, Charlene. Speak
Okay.
up.
As I hear you speaking, I'm very proud because you seem to be forward thinking and on top of the facts. So I really like that. Thank you very much for your efforts in getting the property. I believe it's 566 maybe Van Ness Avenue, because they did come and clean it up and it looks 100% better. But I agree with your statement that in order to continue reducing crime, that we need to have like a multi-pronged approach. One of the things that I wish we could do, because I brought this up many times, and I will invest in some kind of plan myself as soon as I complete this one last professional project that I have to do. But I think that, I don't know what happened over the last 3 months. It seems like the graffiti problem and the dog waste problem just mushrooms out of nowhere. And I think that those low-level crimes are connected to bigger crimes. Because it has to do with really a lack of civility and a lack of respect for your community. So I'm just hoping that maybe you will take some of that energy and intellectual prowess that you have to come up with a creative solution. And I would really love it if we could engage young people, like this young lady here, at a much earlier age and get them involved in graffiti removal, neighborhood beautification programs, as a part of their being invested in their community, and kind of setting them up to be productive citizens. So thank you again, and congrats.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Just a few items. First, one of the benefits of being a council member is that I do receive member items, but we're actually in the council, we're in the process of reforming our rules, so we're not sure how much each council member is going to receive. The debate, I'll just quickly make it, and then I'll answer your question. So we're debating how we should distribute resources. Before, the amount of resources that you would receive would depend on your relationship with the speaker. We want to take the politics out of member item distribution and make it much fairer. Now the question is, should we distribute it equally? Should all 51 council members receive the same amount? Or should we distribute it equitably based on need? Meaning that the districts that have the most needs, the highest poverty rates, receive the most resources. I think you know where I stand. But I'm in the minority. I think it's offensive that the Upper East Side of Manhattan or Park Slope would receive the same amount as my district. But in either case, if I have enough resources, I know that there are anti-graffiti, because the city takes too long to remove graffiti, and if we can find a vendor who can do it at a quicker rate, I would love to invest some of those dollars in an anti-graffiti initiative. I don't want to make a firm promise because I don't know what my budget is going to look like, but that's something I want to take a look at for the city. So, and then as far as
together now.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna put my proposal together now.
Your proposal for it.
Graffiti removal.
You have to go through a public bidding process.
I know.
Yeah. But second is, I think one day we actually are going to schedule, I'm going to bring my whole staff with, I think on a Saturday, and we're going to walk the neighborhood. And we're going to document all the graffiti, just create an inventory of all the abandoned properties, all the overgrown yards, all the graffiti vandalism, and figure out how we can resolve it. In some cases we'll reach out to city agencies. In some cases we might want to mobilize volunteers and paint over the graffiti ourselves. And so I think we're in the process of scheduling it. I think all 7 of my staffers will be there, including myself.
But I do want to encourage students involved, because in order for them to get into the top colleges and high schools, they have to show that they are active in the community. And I think if they were active, if they became more active and empowered in keeping their community clean and more beautiful, maybe that sense of pride and ownership in the community would translate in their behavior. And use a little positive peer pressure to bring along some of the kids that might be open. I mean, it's beautiful, Bernadette, the flyer, not flyer, the newsletter.
It is really nice.
That you do, because it shows kids in the community getting involved, and if we can kind of do more of that, I think it would be great. Because I think if you spend a Saturday cleaning and removing graffiti, you're not gonna be so likely to join a group of people that will then, deface the property. Because it's very depressing and
No, I
ugly
agree.
to look at. The graffiti
And
is
it's not only
ugly.
depressing, it actually has a destructive effect
Yeah.
on our quality of life. And if we do not respect our neighborhood enough to be vigilant against graffiti, then no one else will. So it's a matter of self-respect.
Teacher.
Yes, I support a Bronx animal shelter. Answer
Yes,
your
thank
question.
you.
And yes, I care about the animal vote.
And, thank you. Shadow, myself, and Joanne, we're on the youth committee meeting, because one of the main things, for the community board 11, thank you. And, one of the main things, I grew up in this neighborhood, so I know what problems have been here since I was a youth growing up as an adult, and what I still see here years and years later. The youth in this community, and it's like a big hole if you go from Van Nest, Bronx Neck, Morris Park. There is no community center for the youth. The youth is what we need to focus on in our community. We do not have youth summer camps that we can offer to our children. We do not have a community center that would offer parenting, that would offer a lot of services that, if you go down to Morrisania and the other areas, they have youth centers that have basketball, they have youth nights, you know all the services and the programs that are open. We do not have this in our area. We do not. That's why the gangs really scoop the kids up. And they scoop the kids up that come home from school that are drug runners and the whole thing. These are 10, 11, 12-year-olds, etc. We need a youth center. If we want to have it in Van Ness, I would love to. If we get a building that does get to be city-owned, that would be a great place to do it. We need something here for our children and future families, for people to want to come here. And, this is still great.
We definitely have enough young people. So.
Yes, and they're out there, and even when Inspector Nicholson was here, he says, you have a parenting problem.
Yeah.
And, and it's an issue everywhere, it's not just here. So, we don't have any summer camps. My child
We still have a PAL, or that has to be closed because
well,
of
the
the
PAL has to be closed because with the park, I don't think we're going to be able to have an area to have that, but that's still not off the block yet. We have to look into that. Well, we can, for the summer, the PAL for the summer. We have to look into that. We did have it last summer. We did add a lot of kids
I was
coming
there on the first
to
day.
it. What?
I was there on the first day.
Yes, that was the first time. So the youth, as far as summer camps, my child, who's now 19, when he was able to get on the bus by himself, had to go all the way to Castle Hill for a summer camp, and he had to go to the Kips Boys and Girls Club all the way down on Randall and White Plains Road, and nobody can go to Bronx House because nobody can afford it. So, no, honestly, this is, right, this is what a parent goes through here, because there's nothing to say, you know what, we have nothing for the children. When no summer camp. The youth have nothing here. And when summertime comes, all parents freak out, and it's really a concern. It's something that, if we can get something done here for our youth, for the kids, when they get out of school or whatever. I had to put my son on a bus when he was 7 years old to go to Wakefield for camp, okay, which I couldn't afford. Okay, but it is a real concern. So that's something that is another goal.
No, I agree. We have too many young people who have access to shoo-shoo services. That's what it comes down to, is that we don't have.
Now, on that